Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. Late update because I just got back home from OTAs. First on field practice, and we got to see everybody on the field. A few players were missing. Ricky Pearsall has a hamstring tweaked his hamstring, so he has not been working on the field. He probably will be healthy by the time minicamp rolls around, but with just a few days left of the OTAs, they probably will not have him go out there on the field at all. Not a great thing for Ricky Pearsall because the more time he gets on the field, the better he will be. So, he missed a lot of OTAs last year. He missed rookie training camp. He had a lot of injuries with his hamstring, shoulder subluxation multiple times. And then obviously the horrific shooting incident that happened Labor Day weekend. So, I mean, Ricky Pearsall just needs to get on the field and get some good practice time in. So he was missing from the field. Jair Brown had a procedure on his ankle, so he will be ready for training camp. Trent Williams was at OTAs for the first couple days, and when they did the team building exercises with the Navy SEALs, they did some activities on the field, obstacle courses, and then told stories. And so they did a lot of team bonding. With the Navy SEALs in town. So Jair Brown, Alfred Collins was also not on the field. He was on the side field working with trainers. Robert Beal was working with trainers on the side field. And obviously, Malik Mustafa is still out with the ACL injury. Did not see Brandon Ayuk at all. So that's kind of your rundown of who was at OTAs and who was off the field. We did get to see Nick Bosa and Michael Williams. They were doing defensive line drills along with CJ West. Fred Warner was out there doing some drills, but he didn't really participate in the team drills. And the team drills where they're not padded, not wearing helmets, just kind of running around playing flag football ultimately. Some guys who stood out. Juwan Jennings looks like he is ready for the season. He was still the chemistry that he had with Brock Purdy just carried over, and they are still on the same page. They're doing a great job together already. One practice, two really. This is the second one, but the first one we've seen. Juwan Jennings looks like he is up at full speed. Also, Christian McCaffrey looks like he is 100% healthy. He was kind of taking a little stutter step, kind of reminded me of Frank Gore when he used to stutter step and then go through the line. Stutter step choice route. Brock Purdy found him multiple times, and he got past the line and really showed some burst and some speed. So, I mean, that good things happening at 49ers camp. A lot of guys are there. George Kittle was there helping Luke Farrell kind of get used to the 49ers blocking scheme. Obviously, he has a very good pass protector, run blocker, everything. But, George Kittle giving him a little advice. And, Kyle Shanahan is just really excited that so many guys are there. Just a few not there. Trent Williams, he doesn't normally come to OTAs. He will be back for mandatory minicamp. Yetur Gross-Matos absent because he and his wife are having a baby. So those are the absences from OTAs. Now, I do think that they are without Jair Brown, without Malik Mustafa, new safeties are going to have to come in and they are going to have to take over and be ready. Jair Brown will be back for training camp, so he could be ready for week one. I would think he would be. Malik Mustafa obviously had surgery back in January, February. So generally, guys that have ACL surgery don't come back for about a year, which would put it at the end of the season, mid-season. Malik Mustafa, though, the last time he had an ACL injury wasn't done as well as it could have been. So, but his recovery was crazy. He had it in January. He was back on the field for week one, college. So that could be the case with Malik Mustafa. I know that he thinks that he's a very quick healer, so he could be back. Other things we talked to. So we had Kyle Shanahan was at the podium today, and he spoke about how he gave a challenge to his guys last year. He said, hey, last year you guys came into OTAs, not everybody was there, contract holdouts, everything. And he's like, I understand that. He's like, I understand why you guys weren't mentally ready to be there for OTAs. 3 consecutive seasons in a row, went deep into the playoffs, NFC championship appearances, Super Bowl appearance, heartbreaking loss. They came into OTAs last year not ready. He goes, that cannot be the case this year. You have 5 weeks more of rest, preparation, recuperation to get yourself back to OTAs. So at their exit meeting, he laid out a challenge. He's like, I expect you guys all to be at OTAs. And he didn't have to chase anyone down. He didn't have to remind anybody. He didn't have to beg anybody. Everybody showed up for OTAs. And he said that he's really pleased that everybody's there because they have such a huge task ahead of them. They have to get everybody that was not on the team last year up to speed with not only the playbook and how they perform on the field, but the culture of the locker room, how they practice, get into the routine. So, not just the 11 rookies and the undrafted free agents, but all of the free agents that they signed, like Demarcus Robinson. He also caught some great catches, looked good today. And, some of the safeties, Trey Brown, the special teams group. And that's a whole new unit with Jake Moody, obviously still there. But John Weeks is the long snapper. And then Thomas Morstead is the punter. They released Mitch Wishnowsky yesterday. And both John Weeks and Thomas Morstead are 39 years old. They are almost 40. Huge comparison to Michael Williams, who is not even 21 years old yet. So Brock Purdy took a lot of the reps today. Mac Jones was number 2. Tanner Mordecai also took some reps. But it was really Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. A lot of people asked Kyle Shanahan and Fred Warner and George Kittle how Brock has changed from when he got the contract or since he's gotten the contract. And all of them said, basically, he's just the same. He's like, it is just what it is. It's Brock Purdy. He's the same. And, everything's kind of going along. They celebrated and said, congratulations, but ultimately he's still the same guy. And George Kittle was asked, how has he been more vocal? Because I think that's kind of the assessment is that he's a little bit more vocal in the locker room. But he said, Joanne Jennings, stopped running on a route today and ended up being an incomplete pass. And Brock was like, dude, don't stop running in the middle of the thing. You've got to keep running. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to find you. So he is getting on guys, but I think that's always been the case. I think he's always kind of gotten on guys that have made mistakes or not paying attention or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of the story from OTAs. Let's see. I think that's about it. Alfred Collins is week to week. Siegel should be around at training camp. Kyle Shanahan, funny comment. Kyle Shanahan on Robert Saleh being back, and he's like, yes, it's just like, like they didn't skip a beat, like he had never left. But Robert Saleh does have a new understanding of what Kyle Shanahan and why he got on him so much. So Kyle Shanahan would kind of give Robert Saleh a hard time when he was the defensive coordinator previously, 2017 through 2020. And, Robert Saleh turns out thought he was just being kind of an asshole, kind of being hard on him. And he was like, dude, what's the deal? And now that he's been a head coach, he's like, I get it. He's like, I was even harder on my guy last year. So just kind of funny thing. I think that's about it. Fred Warner said he's really happy to have, everything all settled contract wise. He said Nick Martin has been asking him a ton of questions, how he does everything. And he said it's really cool because, Fred Warner is the jersey. The only jersey that he has is Fred Warner's. That's Nick Martin. And he said, sometimes, guys come in and they're too cool for school. And he said, not just Nick Martin, but Michael Williams has, come up to him and said, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you get into the rhythm of the 49ers practicing and, being a 49er? And so he's loved that they have been really open to suggestions and, learning from a guy who's set to be a Hall of Famer. So George Kittle talked about how the energy has been great. He thinks that CMC looks fantastic. He's excited that there's an Iowa guy and Connor Colby. But yeah, everybody is just, it's a very happy mood and it's very different than last year. Fred Warner's already chirping at the offense. He's running after guys, congratulating the guys who make great plays on defense. So it's already kind of at that training camp energy. I know it's not the same thing. They're not in pads. They're not wearing helmets most of the time, but there definitely is a lot of energy in the building and we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, that's where everything stands with the 49ers during OTAs. We do have access next week, one open practice. They have to have every 3-day stint of OTAs, they have to have one practice open to media. So next week, that'll be Wednesday. We do meet up with assistant coaches on Tuesday, offense and defense. So we'll get a chance to talk to them. And then the following week, June 10th and 11th, is mandatory minicamp. So we'll see everybody there at that time. Trent Williams will be back. And yeah, I don't think they'll do anything on the 12th. That's when they break for the summer. School is almost out for summer. So that's what's going on with the 49ers. Please subscribe. I posted a bunch of short videos that you can watch from practice. There's Nick Bosa, there's Deommodore Lenoir, Bernardo Green, and kind of an old video of the 49ers special teams, which is going to look a lot different this year. All right. Hope you all are well. Talk to you soon.